Good evening. My name is Fryda Cortes, and I will be doing my IOC on an excerpt from William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. So before I get into talking about my excerpt, I'm going to give a little bit of background knowledge and how everything leads up to my excerpt. So first we have two characters, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo is the 17-year-old son of the Montagues, whereas Juliet is the almost 14-year-old daughter of the Capulets. So at first, Romeo is very much in lust with another character, Rosaline, but she does not reciprocate the same feelings that he has for her, and as a result, he gets very depressed, very moody, very suicidal. He doesn't really have a will to live at this point, as all he feels is that his heart has been broken, as he believes he's in love with Rosaline, but in reality, he's just in lust with her. One of the closest friends of Romeo is Mercutio. Mercutio is very out there. He proudly declares that love isn't real. He's all about that sexual love. He's a playboy. He also gives the same advice. Well, he gives the advice to be a playboy out there, to not be so moody, not be so interested in this real love, as it's not really real to Romeo. So Juliet, around this time, is now looking to be wed by her family. Her family's looking for her to be wed. She doesn't really want to be married, but before she gets married, her parents are going to throw her a really big party where she's going to meet the man she's going to be married to, which is Paris. So, unknown to both Romeo and Juliet, they're going to meet at this party. So, Romeo goes to this party because Mercutio says, convinces him to go to the party to get his mind off Rosaline, and he ends up going. Now, this is not just, he doesn't go without conflict, of course. This is a Capulet going to, this is a Montague going to a Capulet's party. And Tybalt, which is Juliet's cousin, spots him and spots Romeo and says, basically says he needs to leave. He's not welcomed here. He is a Montague and he has no place at a Capulet's party, as the Montagues and Capulets have had a bitter rivalry for a very long time, where it has gotten to the point where even the prince of the city in which they Verona said that if there's another public duel or something, whoever initiates is going to be executed. So Juliet's father spots this and tells Tybalt that it's okay, that he's welcome, that Romeo is welcome to be here. So Romeo and Juliet meet each other for the first time here, and they fall instantly in love. In love with each other. They're not really in love. It's more so of a lust thing, or at least it's more of a one-sided love, as Romeo, it could be said or interpreted that he's not very really in love with Juliet. But they secretly get wed by a character, Fryda Cortes, after they meet, around a day after they meet. And they have plans to run away together. So, before Juliet is to be wed to Paris. So, after he marries Juliet, he goes back to get some of his things, and he runs into Tybalt. He's with Mercutio. He runs into Tybalt, and Tybalt says, we're going to have a duel. Romeo says, I don't want to fight you because, he doesn't tell Tybalt this, but Tybalt is Juliet's cousin, and he was just gotten married to Juliet, so he doesn't really want to fight Juliet's family, as Juliet's now his wife. So Mercutio says he's going to fight for him. Tybalt ends up killing Mercutio. Mercutio ends up cursing out both names, saying, this bitter feud is the cause of my death. And as Mercutio dies, Romeo then fights Tybalt, and he ends up killing Tybalt. So Tybalt's, so then Romeo is told by the prince he's banished from the kingdom. He has to leave. At least he's not executed. So when Juliet finds this out, she's very conflicted. She's mad at Romeo, but she's also mad at Tybalt. She doesn't know what to do. And for a lot of people, this may be very surprising, but this is a social commentary on Shakespeare's part, as at this time you were supposed to be entirely devoted to your spouse, but we see that Juliet is still very saddened, and she's upset at Romeo for killing her cousin. And this goes to show that Juliet still isn't mature. She's still a kid. She's only 14, so she's going to have feelings for her actual family versus someone she just fell in love with about a day ago. But after this, they decide they're going to run away. And Friar Lawrence says that he's going to help both of them out. And he's going to put Juliet in a coma-like sleep, death-like coma, for 2 days so she can get buried, and then she and Romeo can run off together. So this is the excerpt that I have is Friar Lawrence and Capulet, where Friar Lawrence is breaking the news, consoling Juliet's parents that she has quote unquote died. So this excerpt from the play Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare is about the effects an individual's actions can have on their surroundings and other relationships, and reveals the lengths an individual is willing to go to establish that they are different from the society, that they want to venture out from this established society. So first I want to bring to attention this oxymoron where it says, the most you sought was her promotion, for 'twas your heaven she should be advanced, and weep ye now, seeing she is advanced. So this is saying how Juliet's parents were only looking for her happiness, and that it was their heaven, it was their will that she advanced, but now they're crying that she is advanced, has gone on to heaven, which is a play on words on Shakespeare's part. So this is contradictory, as it's saying that they wanted her happiness, but now that she's in heaven, or that she's advanced on to heaven, why are they upset? And it's in a way scalding, and I'll wake up call saying in a way they caused this. If they wanted the best for her and they went through everything to give her the best, and now that this is theoretically the best, why are they upset? Then we have an irony, that you run mad seeing that she is well. So it's like they're going crazy trying to give her the best, which also is a reference to the earlier oxymoron in the same passage. How if they're doing everything they can, why are they still trying to do more and more and more if she's already content or she's already happy? And now that she's truly free or happy, why are they crying if they have provided the best they can for her? Then we have an allusion. She's not well married that lives married long, but she's best married that dies married young. So we have to remember that at this time Juliet is already married to Romeo, and this is like referencing that she's going to actually die since she's already married. But in this sense, it's also saying, well, she was to be married to Paris, which was going to be a good marriage, that's why she died. We also have some personification, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment. It's very ironic as well. And then we have Capulet saying, and all things change them to the contrary. And in this passage, he's starting to be very descriptive and use a lot of hyperboles, saying how they're very upset at her death, and that all these things that were supposed to be used for her wedding are now to be used for her funeral. And but this whole thing is basically saying, like, Friar Lawrence trying to calm down Juliet's parents, and states that everything's going to be okay, but at the same time still giving them a little slap on the wrist, saying, well, in a way, you caused her death, as she was trying to do the very best she can. You guys were giving her the very best you could. And this really goes to show how, like, the effects Juliet had on her surroundings, which would be her parents, and, like, everything she would do to go against the society she was being brought up in and to be her own individual.